where we share universal good through love. And I have a candle that has two wicks, and I'm going to light these two wicks. The first wick represents Spirit God, the Almighty, the Creator. The second one represents us as community. And when we gather together, we shine a greater light. So, okay. John, would you like to lead us into a song?
All right. Well, the season is here. And so I thought we'd start off with Jingle Bells before it gets to be where you can't stand it anymore because it's a fun song and I know it and we like it. Sing it. Dashing through the snow in a one horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride. Soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank. Misfortune seemed its lot. It got into a drifted bank, and oh, we got upside. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is white. Go it while you're young. Take a ride tonight and sing a sleighing song. Just get a bobtail nag to 44 its speed. Hitch it to an open sleigh and crack, it'll take the lead. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
All right. That is wonderful. And okay, so Michael's not going to be here this week because he is in Dayton speaking. Uh, Boy, we were talking earlier. He ended up doing a wedding over in Pennsylvania yesterday.
Hmm.
So he had to drive 2 hours to Pennsylvania for the wedding. And then but then he was going to Dayton. So he'd be there this morning in time. So when he was done with the wedding, he had a 5 hour drive over to Dayton from Pittsburgh, that area. So he was very tired. He was telling me. So, anyways, and I can understand that. I was tired. I've been tired this weekend because I think it's because I had my flu and my COVID shot. I don't have usually any precaution, anything from it except that it made me really tired, and it's doing it again. But that's okay. So, what was that? No, you know what? But at least I got it done. So, and today our speaker is Carol Andrick, Dr. Carol Andrick, and our wonderful speaker. And our topic today is "'Tis the Season to Embrace Wholeness and Holiness." So, I'm looking forward to that. And next week it'll be myself, and I don't know what I'm speaking about exactly, but it'll be something to go with the holiday. Exactly, I'm not sure. Following week will be John and Tim will be doing the music and the service basically. So, John, whatever you guys want to do, It's up to you too.
All right.
And then, so we got that. And then the following two, the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, Michael will be doing. So New Year's Eve, of course, we will be doing our bowl burning, whatever you want to call it. We release all the stuff from 2023, let it go, so we're ready for 2024. So, and it's actually kind of cool because it's happening on Christmas Eve, so that's almost perfect. All right, so not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. Woo! So, all right, so John, if you want to lead us into a meditation, and then
All right. I'm doing about half holiday themed songs. This is not really one, but it's a nice song for our meditation. Loving is the way in what we think, do, or say. Loving is the way. Loving today. Being peace. Being kind. Being now. Loving mind. Peace is the way in what we think, do, or say. Peace is the way. Peace today. Being peace. Being kind. Being now. Loving mind. Kindness is the way in what we think, do, or say. Kindness is the way. Kindness today.
kindness is the way. Kindness is what we're doing today. It's so true. But that is one of the major aspects of spirit. Kindness, love, peace, joy, beauty, power, light, wisdom. All this is spirit. All this is God. Whether it be the individual, the earth, the animals, trees, etc. All spirit. Since it was created, and since we are created in spirit's image, yeah, all of those same we have love and peace, joy, light, power, beauty, and wisdom. It is all a part of us. And as we gather together today, I unify ourselves with all of humanity. I unify with the fact that Spirit is in us, through us, and around us. And I accept that you have peace, the joy, all that Spirit is. And as we gather today, I'm grateful for John doing the music. I'm grateful for her leading us. For it will be a major, wonderful day. Now for Michael, that as we travel to you, continue forward. Anna's health, that her leg can be I know for God, that all is well with him. And for anybody else who may not be with us, but I just know that as well. Whatever may be healed, right here. It's going through God, in God, as the person. Yeah, right here. So I give thanks for all the good. I give thanks for this day, this time that we get to share together. Grateful for each and every person that sees me. I am just grateful for all the good. Grateful for this beautiful planet, beautiful country, for my beautiful friends and my family. I am just so grateful. So I now release them. I know all is well. And so it is, and so I let it be.
Being peace, being kind, being known, loving mind, loving is the way. Loving is the way. Loving is the way. Loving today.
Thank you, John. And as you come back to the room and open your eyes, please take a moment to also open your cameras and to look into each other's eyes and to see that magnificent my favorite part of the whole service. So, thank you. And, you're visualized. Yes, thank you. All right. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Carol Ann. Carol Ann has been such a friend to our community and a friend for a long time. But she's also, um, for those who may not know of her, she is a nurse who has done, and a doctor. She has her doctorate, and she has done healing work for a long, long time, um, spiritually, mentally, physically, every way. So, I turn it over to Carol Ann, who is um, she's speaking about tis the season for wholeness and wholeness. So, all right, Carol Ann, thank you.
Well, thank you, Diana. And John, the music this morning and the singing has absolutely been just fantastic. You have hit just about every chakra and every place that needed more revitalization. So it's kind of like, uh, can you be energy on steroids? I'm not sure. But it is just always an honor and a pleasure to be here. And it really is the season to embrace wholeness and holiness. When I turn the page in my calendar from November to December, for me, that is when I feel the energy shifting and we begin to move into the holiday season. And if you take a look at America, much has changed in recent years. Our way of life is very different. When you look at the effects of COVID, we've got wars, we've got rumors of war, we've got terrorism, we've got all these things that you look at and you think, well, this isn't my country. What is this? And in watching people, I find that people are playing and this is my game. The people are playing I will be happy if or when game. And I call it the if or when game. I will be happy when this happens. I will be happy when this happens. I will be happy when uh because and why do we do that? Because we want to feel good and we don't feel good. There's a level of discontent, of the uncomfortableness with everything that's going on in the world and the large world and also our own personal world. And when our world seems right, then we feel good temporarily. And for the first time ever, the number of people with very high credit card debt is becoming very commonplace. And why do we do that? Why do we put things on a credit card? Sometimes it's because we need to. I get that. Many times it is because, gee, if I got this, I would feel good for a little bit. Now, we don't think that. We don't really say that to ourselves, but it's like, oh, gee, I've always wanted that. I'm going to go ahead and get it. And so we have, I am going to say we've given our happiness over to things on the outside of us, on the appearances of what's going on, of what we see with our eyes, or we feel, or we learn and look at the TV. Along with that, we are being given very subtly more ways to be distracted. The number of people and we see people spending more time on their computer, video games, watching television, the internet, movies, being on Facebook. I mean, there's so many things that we can do to, I'm going to say, distract us from who we are and what we are all about on this planet. And kind of the American dream that is, in a way, popping up now, just from my observations, is that we want to fall in love with the right one, raise a family in a home that we have paid for, and we have a secure job. So it might be one, it might be all of that, it might be a different scenario. We kind of have this idea of what we would like. When we don't get it, we take the second prize. And the second prize might be spending more time on a video game. It might be some sort of distraction. And if you look at where we were pre-COVID and where we are now, the number of distractions that we have that come to us are just increasing exponentially. So our happiness is depending on conditions. It's the if and whens. And I like to call it the F factor, as I said. Many people blame the pandemic and the waves of increasing costs of everything is their reason that they are unhappy. And because of those things, we're finding new problems or problems that we can't necessarily change cropping up and coming to us on the news, coming to us from all different directions. There's increasing divorce rates, there's increasing job stress. We have terrorism, climate change, financial security. Watching the news is and can be very depressing. And it's important that we realize that these things are external to us in our situation. And the problem comes in, as I said earlier, is we can't really do anything about them. They are there. They are larger problems, but they can be in our face all the time, so that our pre-COVID watching the 6 o'clock news now becomes a time of, do I really want to watch it? It is so depressing. So let's take a moment and look at the outer appearances, which we're kind of turning to make us happy. But let's find a simple solution to doing that, because first of all, it's not who we are, it's our environment, and we know who we are. We know absolutely in truth who we are. We are the magnificence of God always expressing. And you think, oh gee, I don't know as I'm magnificent all the time, even some of the time, but that's that's who we really are and what we really are about. But everything just seems so complex. And yet I know from my own experiences that when we are able to break down complexity, we can find very simple solutions. But that means people have to be open to take a look, to really take a look at what's going on. I'll give you an example. I have two friends that both lost their jobs unexpectedly and around the same time. Scott, when he lost his job, he immediately turned from very lighthearted, easygoing to becoming depressed. He began spending much more time playing computer games. He was already good at them, but an inordinate amount of time playing computer games. He did check the newspaper every day to see if there are any jobs. And he literally was really on a negative journey because everyone he talked to, he complained. So of course, people are going to, kind of stay away from you or take you in small doses if you're going to be complaining all the time. My other friend Alex, gee, he's out in Boulder. Received his termination notice, and if you knew him, you gotta love him, because when he received it, he got angry and he said, "No, no, 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 no," as if he said no longer and louder, it would change things. And after about 15 minutes, his wife said, "Would you please get out of the house and take a long walk?" And he just looked at her, stormed out of the house. And the beautiful thing was, he didn't take his cell phone with him. Now, Alex has always been one that likes to take long walks and get a lot of clarity being in nature. And he never takes his cell phone, so he didn't really miss it. But I smiled when he was relaying this to me, like many weeks later. I didn't take my telephone, and it was so glad I didn't, because I got back into nature. I had to walk a long time being angry, and it was nature just was gently caressing me. And as I slowed down, I started to look around. I started to appreciate the trees and everything that was going on around me. And he said, I got to a point. I had to figure out where I was because I wasn't paying attention where I was walking. But as I turned around and headed for home, I almost had a smile on my face. And when he got home, he immediately sat down and he wrote a description of the job that he wanted. And I'm listening to him and I'm thinking, well, how brilliant is that? Of course, you want to let God, the universal mind, know exactly what you want. So write down the description, how many hours, the pay, the working conditions, the distance, how soon do you need the job, and anything else he could think about with it. And then he did something that I would say 99.9% of the people on this planet, if they knew about it, wouldn't do it. He called a Science of Mind practitioner. Who would have thought, gee, I got a problem. I need some help. I'm getting some clarity. Why not call someone that can do the prayer treatment for him and help him walk through this together simply by remembering who he was and really releasing everything and turning it over to the presence and the power and the life force of the universe. So they would take care of it. And then the practitioner also did a second thing and just said, hey, what do you think about setting up a daily schedule to keep you on track and to keep you moving forward? And John said, yeah, this is a great idea. The first thing that she suggested was taking care of himself, getting enough sleep, eating right, staying hydrated, staying warm, taking walks, getting him in balance, raising his vibration so that he can be open to all the things that the universe is just waiting to shower down on him. So fast forward, the end of the first week, Scott was still depressed and negative, and he had no leads and no job insights, and he didn't know what he was going to do, and that's how it is, and life gave him a bad hand. Alex, on the other hand, had found two possible jobs. One to start almost immediately. And another one that it would be 3-4 weeks before he would start, and then he would start with a 2-3 week orientation. Now he wasn't sure that he really wanted either job or both of them, but he said, "Hey, what a great opportunity have! I can go to the one that's open, test it out, get paid. If I don't like it, can move on to the second one, see what's going on with it, and while I'm doing all this, I can continue my job search." Didn't hear from them, either of them, for a while. And then about 6 weeks out, Scott was still struggling. And Alex had landed a job better than he could have ever imagined. And he said, losing my job was the best thing for me to happen. This job is so much better. It's so much more in line with me and who I am. So in essence, a way to be happy, we can look at 4 factors, because the way to be happy is to be happy on the inside. When we're happy on the outside with outside appearances and things, they can change. We don't get anything to say about it. But when we're happy on the inside, then we can increase in strength, we can increase in vitality, we can increase in happiness. The whole world can be falling down around us, and yet we can be in a place of peace and love. So there are, I wrote down 7 things about being happy from the inside out. And the first one that we have to recognize is that life has a purpose. You have a purpose. You have a purpose for being here right now at this point in time. You have a life purpose. You have to discover your life purpose. And people will say, "Well, how in the world do you do that?" And I said, "Well, my life purpose has gotten clearer and clearer and clearer the longer I live." And it's kind of really nice if you're Eckhart Tolle or somebody that has a brain flash and their whole life changes. But the reality is that isn't what happens with most of us. It is a gradual process. And our life purpose is one thing that continues for our whole life, but it can change and shift in its appearance. So my life purpose that is morphed and morphed and morphed and keeps morphing a little bit and changing as I grow older is to assist other people in discovering who they are. And who we are, which we know, but we really don't verbalize, is, and I say it as, I am God always expressing. So finding and learning that place of deep knowingness. Okay, that's my purpose. And that's how I'm saying it presently. Look back over my life, and I was working with that purpose as I was growing up, and I was working on myself. And then that purpose changed when I got married. So now I was working and assisting 2 lovely daughters to begin to realize who they are. And with kids, you talk about being kind, saying please, saying thank you, saying I had a nice time. And in fact, my youngest daughter She was going to stay overnight with one of her friends, very first staying overnight when she was 7. And Nancy and her mom came over to pick her up. And Janet walks out, and as her Nancy's mom was opening the door, she looked up at her and she said, "Before I forget, please, thank you, and I had a nice time." And then she turned and said, "See, Mom, I did all of them." So our purpose remains the same, but it shifts and changes. And mine shifted and changed. It changed to it was a labor and delivery nurse and working with husband coach childbirth. It morphed into teaching. It morphed into holistic nursing. It morphed into having a private ongoing practice, and it morphed into beginning to speak on the national and international level. And I mean, it keeps morphing, but the essence of it remains the same. And the last morphing of it was writing my last book on ending of days. So the focus remains the same, but the situations are going to vary. Second, inner happiness keeps deepening. People say, well, you got to establish inner happiness. No, it's not a check mark. Well, rather, it is an ongoing process of ever deepening. Because what we're doing is, and this a little kind of aside, we are changing behaviors. We are changing the chemistry of our brain, and we are changing the neural pathways. So the neural pathway of being happy on the inside begins to become deeper every time we smile, every time we work from our heart center. And the neural pathway of our brain with automatic responses based upon past behavior, that begins to lessen. So it is a continual process of deepening, which I like. There's something about having the freedom to go as high, as wide, as deep as you can go, instead of being able to put a check mark next to something. Because when I put a check mark after something, it's kind of like, okay, that's done. That's the end. But our life is never ending. We live forever and have all these opportunities to continue to learn and grow. So the third thing I was looking at is daily to begin to replace the external places of being happy with internal relations. So, another way of saying that is to realize consumerism is consumerism. And we do have to have it to a degree, but it's the internal relationship. It is the heartfeltness that is going to bring us the ongoing joy. Fourth, is to let go of distractions. And I mentioned all kinds of different distractions that we have, and begin to increase your heart connections. And we can talk about that, can be many, many different talks. So that's really focusing on the inside. Fifth, discover a place within. There is a place within you that is deeper than fear, it's deeper than crisis, and it's deeper than anxiety. And it's a place of deep, deep peace where you are alert, you are aware, and it is called the heart space. And one of the first steps in discovering and deepening our heart space is putting our hand on our heart to remind us, hey, this is where I want to speak from. Sixth is to know that this place of deep peace that I'm talking about is untouchable by any outer condition. It is totally untouchable. It is a sacred space. And when we enter that sacred space, we enter not only a deep place in knowingness, but it leads to the seventh step of moving into solutions. And when we move in solutions, we're in this deep space, but our body, this is where our body responds to us with increasing wellness. So you want to change your health, increase your heart space, increase your and deepen this place of beingness that so supersedes anything and everything that we can ever imagine. So 'tis the season to embrace wholeness and holiness. It's a time to have fun. Hopefully we have snow and we can build snowmen. It's the season of giving, starting with yourself and giving yourself this tremendous gift of happiness from the inside. And it all begins with you. And it spreads out naturally and easily. Your life will never be the same. So put your hand on your heart, because this is where it all begins. And so from my heart to yours, I know for each one of you, wholeness and holiness, not just during this season, but throughout the year, throughout your life, one breath at a time. And that's pretty easy to say because we can only take them one at a time and we can't collect them or save them. So one breath at a time, that's all it takes. And hey, if we forget, put your hand on your heart and it instantly brings you back into that deeper connection. And please remember, you have access to 3 practitioners right here and right now that can assist you. They are just waiting and they are just so delighted to be able to help you through the power of prayer. So call them and have the best holiday ever. Thank you so much for being with me. Take good care.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. It was beautiful. I really liked, I think it's the 5th step, might have been the 4th step, where you said that recognizing, well, you didn't exactly say these words, but it was taking and realizing within, finding that deep space of peace. And you know what? I used to be afraid of that because it was what it was. I was afraid of it, not so much that I didn't want I wanted the peace and all that, but it was so empowering. It was so allowed so many things to happen very quickly for me when I am in that space, and when I listen closer to what's going on. It just there's no reason to be afraid of it because it is where everything happens. It's taking that place, recognizing that peace that is within, that is through spirit, that's in you, as you, and through you. And I really like that. So thank you. And
You're welcome. And you're quite right. In a way, it's moving into the unknown, but it is a power. I mean, we're working with, or rather, the power and presence of the universe is working with us. Absolutely. And being in that place, is, for me, it's a place of very deep reverence, of very deep respect and awe. And yet knowing at the same time there is a feeling of this incredible, warm, loving energy that surrounds and enfolds me. And it is just a constant reminder that yes, yes, everything is okay. You're moving in a good direction. And I think one of the nice things about it is that as we begin to become more comfortable in that space, we can feel that energy, that warmth come up through us at the best times when we really need it without even asking, because it is there and it is loving to serve us in any way that we can. So thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
Very nice. I'm very inspired. Speaking of stopping to appreciate nature and peace, we were hiking at this metro park where there's a pond. You've heard the term walking on thin ice.
Yes.
We were walking past this pond, and there's a blue heron walking on a half frozen pond in slow motion. And we stopped and we're looking at it like, look at that. It was like a slow motion movie, very slow. I mean, you know how they stand really still in water, shallow water to fish. I mean, they don't move a muscle. We walked by this one heron lives at this park, I think. We walked by it many times, and my friend Marcia takes lots of photographs of it and everything. But it's walking really slowly, and we're there like, what's it trying to do? And we realized that it's going to fish through the open spots in the ice fishing. Okay, but it's on water that is normally would be too deep for it to stand in. So it's out there. So it's looking for a school of fish passing by in the open water on the edge of the ice where it's walking. And eventually it actually slowly scrunched down to do that. And while we were watching it, other people on the other side of the pond hiking on the trail over there saw us staring at this thing, and they stopped to look, and they started watching it as well. It was very fascinating, but and it incorporated both peace and purpose. It was really cool.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I had a heron on the lake until they drained the lake. Now they've filled the lake back in again. And the herring is there, but it has taken it a long time to come back. And I mean, the whole lake is different, the way the water flows and everything, and the having to grow new vegetation and everything. And it is just incredible to just watch the birds come back and the animals along the edge of the lake. They depended on that lake for a lot of things, and it was gone, and they literally left. They literally came further inland, which is not necessarily good for homeowners because they are looking for other places to have their nests and all. But now with the lake coming back very slowly, it's just amazing how nature is just slowly and gently regaining a different kind of balance again. And just exquisite, as you say, it's just awe-inspiring.
Well, this metro park has it's really a small lake. They call it Turtle Pond, but and it has lots of turtles. But it's also got the Tuscarawas River and the Ohio Erie Canal all going through it. So usually the heron is fishing in the canal, but the canal is slow water and it freezes over. So when the pond freezes over, it looks like it's going to stay the winter. But I'm thinking, well, all it has in the woodland is going to be the river itself. So I hope it can catch some fish there.
I had a nice surprise this morning. The neighbor 2 streets over sent me a picture of the front of their house, and there was a beautiful young buck.
Hmm.
And I thought, yeah, you would pick that house. Those people, there is so much energy in that, but it was absolutely magnificent. And I really was glad to see it because right now in this area, I don't know if it's true over in Akron, they are culling the deer herd. And
Heard about it.
well, and
They do that. Yeah.
within the park system, and of course the deer are coming out of the park to go someplace else for a while because of and here is this, oh, I mean, it just brought tears to my eyes. It was so beautiful. And here it was in one of the safest places that it could find.
Oh, neat. All right. So is there any other comments or questions? All right. Well, if not, John, let's have
All right. Well, this is actually the only holiday song because Jingle Bells is really just about winter, you know.
Mhm.
But to get us going, it's called "The Light of the Holidays." One of my songs. Let's see if I got it fully centered. Here we go. Here we come to the winter time, the season of ice and snow. A journey through months of dark and cold, as we already know. With the light of the holidays to brighten our way, we will make it through. As the love, joy, and peace of the season remind us what is true. The falling snow will soon build up as the cold winds start to blow. The shovel is ready to go to work, scraping and pushing snow. With the light of the holidays to lighten our way, we will make it through. As the love, joy, and peace of this season remind us what is true. Sweatshirts, long johns, blankets, and socks will likely be warm, alright. But a fireplace and a stack of wood would be nice on a cold, dark night. With the light of the holidays to warm our way, we will make it through. As the love, joy, and peace of this season remind us what is true. Here we come to the winter time, goodbye to the fall. Be glad we have the holidays as a gift for one and all. As the light of the holidays lightens our way, we will make it through. Happy holidays to everyone. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you, John. Very beautiful. All right. So it is that time in our service where we have the opportunity to give. So there are several ways you can give. You can go to Zelle and you can go to sscofakron@gmail.com. That's sscofakron@gmail. through Zelle, and you can give that way, or you can send a check. And make sure that on the check it says the word Summit, whether it says Summit Spiritual Center, Summit CSL, just as long as Summit is there. And then that goes to that, mail that to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio 44310, and we'll make sure it gets put into our account. And so just imagine with me, if you, whether you have the item in front of you or not, but know that all that we have, all that we give, all that we receive is blessed in a very gracious manner. And it is now goes to the work of Summit Spiritual Center. And it also is returned back to the giver 10 times or more. And so it is. And so let it be. Amen. All right. So more good, John.
Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel so good, worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Oh, good, more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
All right, thank you. So, a few announcements. On the 22nd of December, we're going to be, well, we'll get you the exact address and all that and the time, but we're going to be going over to Michelle's house, Michelle Giffen's house, and we're going to celebrate the change of the season, with a Yule log. And we will we're going to meet there, and she's lives right next to Summit Lake, and we'll be able to do a little bit of ceremony and for the what's the name of it? Anyways, it's the change in seasons.
The winter solstice.
Well, for the change to winter solstice. Thank you. And it's just a chance for all of us to get together, because we don't get to do that very often. So it'd be nice to see everybody who can make it there. But we will let you know exactly the time and the address and all that when Michael gets back. So, okay. So
And
that's,
you will be there if you can.
yes.
Pretty flat there, but we won't be outside very long, I don't think.
No. Even last year, it wasn't that. The ceremony itself was maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, because yeah, agreed. We agree to that. So,
And just maybe your leg is going to heal so rapidly and perfectly, you'll just be amazed.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I know Michael would want us to mention New Thought Media Network, to go there if you'd like. See lots of different people who are shows and stuff. John, got anything?
Well, I'm doing my Grandfather John live at 1 p.m. on Thursdays, if you want to join me live, or you can watch it at yeswise.com. I went over a little bit of my philosophy the other day, and it's up there, yeswise.com.
All right. And Carol Ann, anything from you?
I am actually using this time over the holiday season to go inside and really get a lot of clarity on my next directions. I don't like waiting until New Year's. I like to, kind of take this and be able to jot down things and everything, but I'm really taking this time to go inside, look at what the next year looks like. Probably have some few surprises in there that I didn't think about, and I'm going to allow that to be my main focus.
Sounds wonderful. And is there any other announcements? All right.
I'm done moving.
Oh, are you? Good.
Started in February and I just finished. My storage shed was cleared. I walked in and I said, I'm out after 8 years of being at this with your storage facility. Can't believe all the rent I paid for that.
Oh, I believe that. We know what we pay, see what we pay at our, yeah, so. Okay, well, anyways, that's good news. That's real good news. Let's go into a moment of silence, and this is our chance to take into mind our friends, family, the plant, the planet that may need some healing. So I'm going to bring us in, and then I'll bring us out. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
All right. Well, we're going to one more time do our Real and True song here. The rest of the month we'll do some more seasonal material, and then we'll come back and alternate our closing songs after the first of the year. But Real and True. Joy is real. Joy is true. We are joy, living as me and you. Joy is awareness, real and true. We are awareness, living as me and you. Peace is real. Peace is true. We are peace, living as me and you. Peace is awareness, real and true. We are awareness, living as me and you. Love is real. Love is true. We are love, living as me and you. Love is awareness, real and true. We are awareness, living as me and you. Living as me and you.
everyone, and looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Hannah, you can stop our Facebook feed. I'm going to stop our recording. And anyway, so.